Hey guys, welcome to Unit 2, Lesson 1. We're going to deal with large numbers now. We're going to start off, ideally you're going to learn or remember how to do place values, and then you're going to be able to write down numbers in all of its forms. That means standard form, extended form, and in words. So let's start off looking at our place values. This should be review, but we're going to get big. For place value, basically means that any number or any digits within a number has a place where it has to sit. Taking an easy number, 742. Now, each one of these numbers has a value, and it has to be in its order. Twos, we often refer to as the ones. Fours, we refer to as the tens. And the sevens, we refer to as the hundreds. We've often played around with a place value chart, HTO, and that's pretty simple. So I can take this number right here, and I can throw it into its place value. Each one represents what it represents. Get rid of this. But what happens when you have bigger numbers? Bigger numbers, again, have place values, and they all have a value. Even if there's a zero, it has a value. Now, all the zeros that are ahead of this 7 mean nothing unless there's an actual digit in front of it. So let's take a big number. 2041. Again, there's a 0 in here, but it has a value. While it says there are no hundreds, it has to be here in order to indicate the value of the thousands. A little bit of confusing concept, but you have to realize every space has to be there. You cannot just omit or delete one of these digits. To put this into another HTO chart, throw this on up in here, but there's not enough room here. So we have another one of these. And it would go over here. This would be representing the thousands. So we have 2041. While that was a fairly quick look at the place value, we can see how it progresses, though. It always progresses in groups of 3. We have units way over here. We have thousands over here now. And we talk about those numbers in those groups of 3. But if we deal with bigger numbers still, we can now introduce millions. And where we're going to go with this is we're going to introduce billions. Always, 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 there's the trend of groups of 3. Just like how units and thousands were here, well, we still have our units and our thousands, but then we add another group of 3, and that's millions. Units, thousands, millions, billions, and we could keep going. We could have another group of 3 way over here. Trillions, then zillions, bazillions, cajillions. We just keep on going on up and up and up. But every one of these spaces has a value, and you need to know that. You need to remember that, because place value is key, especially when you're lining up your numbers. Okay, taking back to the millions and thousands here. Give any number. Let's put a 7-digit number down. Not a 6-digit. Let's go. Let's get a big, big number here. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9, 0, 2, 0, 7. Now, every one of these numbers, or every one of these digits within this big number has a value. Always put them into their spots, starting on the right-hand side, because, well, that's our smallest one. I have a 7, a 0, a 2, a 0, a 9, 8, 7, 5, 4. All right, there we go. That's pretty easy to align them this way, and it's very important that you do this, especially when you're adding, subtracting, multiplying, dividing, doing any operation. You have to put them in their value. But that's the place value there. Going back over here, just doing the exact same thing with the billions. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Now, all of these things here, all of these numbers clearly don't have much of a clear space or division in them. But you should be able to know that this is a group of 3, this is a group of 3, this is a group of 3. If we were to follow that suit, it should just go straight into the above. But what if I had a 0 at the end? Now I have to change my group of 3. So let's do that right now. I'm going to put my 0 here, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and now I end up in my next column here. Thing you need to know is how to say these numbers now too. Each one is a group of 3. And you have to look at it as an individual group of 3, and then you can just relate it to whatever grouping it is. So to say this number, you actually start over here on the left-hand side, and the number that I'm looking at of that 3 digits is 1. 1 what? 1 billion. So 1 billion. Look at the next one. 234. 234 millions. 567,890. So how do I say it? 1,234,567,890. That's a lot to say. Kind of cool. All right. That's our place value. You just need to be able to figure out what the value of each digit is. Now we need to look at the value of each digit. Let's do the exact same number we just had there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, 0. Now each one of these things has a value again. Now earlier I said that this one digit was 1 billion. So the value in this place is 1,000,000,000,000. 1 billion. That's the value of this digit. Now what's the value of this digit? That digit is worth 200 million. 200 million. This is worth 30 million. This digit is worth 4 million. That one, 500,000. 60,000. 7,000. 890 and 0. So we could actually stack all these things up. We have this beautiful little, not beautiful, but you know what I'm talking about. There is this nice progression. Each digit has a value. The 1 is worth 1 billion. That 2 right there is worth 200 million. That 3 is worth 30 million. That 4 is worth 4 million, and so on. Each digit has a value. Now, when we actually write a number like this out, we could even put all of these things together. Oops. 1 billion. Oops, let's change that off here. We're actually going to put the value of each one of these things out here. We're going to ungroup the digits. These guys right here. This is getting a little bit too hard to read. Once again, we're going to pause. Now we have this digit in its place values. Let's try now to write it in what's called expanded form. Right now, as the digits are written, if we take this thing away, looking at this number up here, that number is called standard form. Standard form, and that's when they're just written down as digits. The next one we're going to work on here is expanded form. Expanded form is writing them down as each value is worth it. So I actually have to look at each digit, starting with that 1. I'm going to write down 1 billion plus 200 million. There we go. Missing one. 30 million, 4 million. This is a long one. 500,000 plus 60,000 plus, not done yet, 7,000 plus 800 plus 90. Do I add anything after that? Well, you could say plus 0, but you don't have to, because there's nothing there. That's it. 1,200,000,000, 30,000,000, 4,000,000, 500,000, 60,000, 7,890. When we write down expanded form, it's simply just adding up the value of every single digit. We expand the condensed form, which we call standard form, and show every single value. Now, that's also pretty easy to do if you're paying attention. The last one you're going to need to write down, or you're going to need to know, I should say, is writing it down in words. Now, to write down words, yes, there is spelling involved, but we always say the words. If we look back at the number and we put it into its values again, how do we say it? Well, we say there is, let's put that into our place value, good. Remember, left-hand column is billions, we have our millions, we have our thousands, and we have our hundreds. So saying it again, we have 1 billion. 234,000. Oh, sorry, million. Sorry, 1,234,000,000. 567. Oh, those all separated and got out of my way. What's going on there? Let's get rid of them, eh? 567. 67. 1,000. 890. $1,234,567,890. It's really exactly as you'd say it. So words are just writing down the words. Standard form is just writing down the numbers. Expanded form is writing down the value of every number. Now, I'd like you to take a minute, and I'd like you to actually write this down, please, in your notebooks. Here, I'll even give you the notepad sign. Standard form, expanded form, and words. Hit pause on the recorder while you do that. All right, guys. Now I have to give you your homework. Turn to page 48 in your textbook, and the questions you're going to be doing. So let's see here. Page 48. Cues. We're doing numbers 1, 3, 4, 5. Question 7. And question 9. These questions are all due, of course, for tomorrow. They're not very hard. These should take not much time at all. If you have any questions, this is where you need to ask me on the individual questions or for a concept. I hope this was useful. I hope you guys learned something. I hope it was all review. But if it's not, good luck, guys. Bye.